we decided not to have the expense of Fifth Sunday worship. We decided instead to go bless the sister church. So we don't know if we're going to St. Luke or Indiantown, but we're going to one of the two. All right. On this Fifth Sunday. Amen. Then she moved into this day. All right. And I said I had to take a minute. I had to pause a minute because I'm at that point in life when I can't really overdo it. Amen. And Sister Virginia said we were celebrating last night, and it was our annual youth day today, and I was with the congregation acting like a crazy woman because I was so proud. And so I don't mind telling you that from the time I left church this morning till I got home and fed the kids and tweaked the sermon and got in the car and drove all the way here, you know. For many of us, this is worship round 2. Amen, somebody. But then when I got out of the car and I opened that outer door, I remember where I was. I didn't have the Bible, but I ministered on this end. Amen. For about a year in Vero, Reverend Yates was my pastor. And about a year in Indiantown under the Pastor Greer. And I'm here to tell you, I thought about stopping and getting a Red Bull. But all I really needed to do was open that front door, amen. Because when the saints gather, all of God's children get together, amen, somebody. I was re-energized. But I'm still going to take it easy. And I might be a little slower than normal, but you know, my call, my assignment is to edify and not entertain. My assignment also is to preach the unadulterated word of God and to preach y'all happy. I'm just praying I'm not going to preach a happy twice. Happy to see me get up and happy to see me sit back down. I give honor to my Father God, who is the head of my life. Even in his absence, I give honor to my husband, who is the head of my house. I give honor to the head of this house. Reverend Alison Joy Yates. I give honor to the head of this district, our presiding elder, Jesse Harvin. Might be Ken, might not be Junior, and Sister Virginia Harvin, our district consultant. And I have to say this, I'm not, if you know me, and I know a lot of y'all do know me, I recognize a lot of folk up in here, amen. Don't mess with me today, some folk up in here. You know, I don't do the brown nosing thing. I don't do that to my detriment sometimes, amen. But I have to genuinely say, and I know I put it on thick yesterday too, but we have the best team in the people of the Reverend Jesse Harvin, Junior Harvin. I give honor to Reverend Dixon, I saw that right there, and to my good friend, Jacqueline Clinton, Reverend Jacqueline Clinton, amen. Well, some TSA showed up. Now, I couldn't push my folk, amen. I couldn't push them today. They just gave it all last night, you know. Most of them babies, so, you know, we got to meet them where they are. Hallelujah. But my son is here, Braxton Sapp. He's the middle boy. as a testament to how wonderful, how brilliant God is. And that how he answers prayer. Lord knows I needed some help. And he sent in Reverend Kimberly Tobias, who's also from TSH. Amen. So I give honor to all clergy. If I miss somebody, amen. Remember, I'm at a little time. Also, I was given permission to bring my book table, so I brought my assistant, Sister Lavette Robinson, amen. She travels with me when we tour the book and that. She's been with me for 5 years, I believe. And, amen. God send you what you need. God send you who you need, amen. And I love you all. Let us pray. Father God, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be nothing but acceptable in your sight. Lord, you alone are my strength and my redeemer. And all glad hearts said amen. Amen. You know, the first time Sister McCoy gave me the assignment. And I got to tell you, I thought, cool. I already did this. I preached about Pastor Lydia in 2010 at a women's conference on the West Coast. Actually, Sister Virginia, that's where I got the C4 name, Pastor Honor. After I preached this same sermon I'm talking about, he named me C4. But today is only the second time that I've attempted to preach about her. So, of course, in preparation for today, I went through my normal process of preparation. We all have our own unique process, amen. And as I studied, I began to realize that something had changed. Now, I know the word didn't change, amen. But rather the way that I was now perceiving it had changed. Because see, in these last 7 years, I had changed. I know a lot more. I've done a lot more, amen. Now, the basis of who I understood her to be did not change. In that initial sermon back then, see, I was focused on the credibility of women being called into ministry. Today, it's about the power of her witness. Then it was about proving a point to the countless men and women who challenged me and the validity of my call in ministry. But now it's about a preacher who happens to be a woman who became a change agent. Then I use her as an example of God's will for women. But today I'm going to lift her up as an example of God's will for everybody. And then I also begin to see some similarities between Pastor Sappho and Pastor Lydia. We're both pastors, both are entrepreneurs, amen. We don't know how she fit into her family, but we know she lived with her family, and we both really love the Lord. So now if I'm forced to give a title for this message, it would be, Where Are the Witnesses? I want to invite you to join me as I travel to the outskirts of Philippi with Paul and some other preachers in the book of Acts in chapter 16, verses 13 through 15. Amen? Amen. I will be reading from the New King James Version. I'd ask also that you reverence God's word by standing when you're located at chapter 16, verses 13 through 15. Amen. And the word of God says, this is what I need y'all got to bear with because I brought up the wrong book. And on the Sabbath day, we went out of the city to the riverside, where prayer was customarily made. And we sat down and spoke to the women who met there. Now a certain woman named Lydia heard us. She was a color of purple from the city of Thyatira, who worshipped God. The Lord opened her heart to heed the things spoken by Paul. And when she and her household were baptized, she begged us, saying, if you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come to my house and stay. So she persuaded us. Praise God for his word. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Well, the preachers Paul, Silas, and Timothy, see, this was a mission trip. The Bible says they left out of the city of Philippi, headed to the riverside, where they knew there would be a women's prayer meeting. The word also says that they joined that prayer meeting. Now, for us today, this might not appear to be a big deal. I mean, I'm here to tell you that it really was. It was huge. It was really big. The fact that these women were conducting a riverside prayer meeting in the first place is very telling. It shows us that there was no synagogue in Philippi. I teach my Bible study students that merely reading the Bible is simply not sufficient. One must study the Word. In order to really go deeper into God's Word, research on the culture and custom of the people you're reading about in the Bible is required. It's the only way to be able to understand and to distinguish why they did the things they did and why they did them the way that they did them. In other words, as we sit here today, there is nothing unique about a women's prayer meeting. But see, now the women assembled together on the banks of that river on that day were Jewish women practicing Judaism. And research will reveal to you that only women could be on that riverbank in that prayer meeting. See, according to Jewish religious doctrine, the only way that a synagogue could be established anywhere was if there were at least 10 Jewish men. Because if there had been a synagogue, see, there would have been a designated place within that synagogue for these women to have that prayer meeting. This tells us that in the entire city of Philippi, there weren't even 10 Jewish men who were willing to commit to unite together for worship. The laws also dictate that men were not allowed to worship or pray in public, but that women could in a group setting. So that's why the preachers were the only men in attendance that day at that prayer meeting. Can I teach a little while I preach a little? Amen. Last week at the Women in Ministry annual service, presiding Elder Harmon agreed with a statement that Reverend Scott had made, and he said that if you took the women out of the church, there'll be no church. And so based on these facts, it appears that that might have always been the case. Amen. Now every one of those preachers knew about the religious decrees regarding Jewish worship. Paul and Silas were raised in this Jewish faith. Timothy wasn't, but we learn in this same book of Acts that he was introduced to their religion specifically for this mission trip. So now they were all aware of the customs, the traditions, the decrees that only women could gather and pray outside of the synagogue when there was no synagogue. But then we see these Jewish men sit down with these women. Anyhow. How many of you know that Jesus was truly a liberator? You see, they were no longer simply Jewish religious men. These men were now men of the Jewish culture who actively practiced Christianity. So now I can imagine every woman present at that prayer meeting also aware of that doctrine being taken aback by their presence there. But the Bible says that when Paul spoke, at least Lydia was listening. Now what's amazing to me is that these preachers initially planned to take this mission trip to Asia. But verse 6 shows us that their plan for that was forbidden by the Holy Spirit. And so they changed their plans. Amen. They decided to go to Bithynia, but again, the Bible says the Spirit would not permit them. The Bible doesn't say if this initial decision to go to Asia was born out of their own reasoning or design or concept, but I believe that Paul was led to believe that the word needed to be preached there, that he was meant to preach there, that the word had to be preached there. And so I can imagine him becoming perplexed because the Spirit kept blocking him from going. there. When you're prophetic, you get stuff. Amen? It don't always make sense to you at first. Hallelujah? So often the Lord can give us something, and instead of waiting for clearer direction from the Lord for that thing, we set about making plans on our own to make it manifest out of our own power. We do it all the time. It's a part of the human condition. But one of the things that I love about God is that God knows we do it. Amen, somebody. And so the Holy Spirit had to prevent him from going in a direction that God didn't want him to go. You see, I believe Paul had an urge, a call, if you will, an unction in his spirit, telling him that there was at least one somebody in the region of Asia that he specifically needed to bring that word to. And he wasn't wrong. But sometimes we can receive a word of knowledge from the Lord and apply our human reasoning or limited understanding and believing how that thing should manifest. In other words, if God shows you a vision where you had great wealth, that doesn't mean you take all your money out of the bank and go down to the 7-Eleven and buy lottery tickets. Amen? We need to remember that God is always God. And his ways are not our ways. His faults, not our faults. So now, if the devil is in the details, I believe that God is in the detours. Because on the outskirts of the city of Philippi, in that region of Macedonia, on the banks of the river, over 4,000 miles away from Asia, among that group of women assembled together at that prayer meeting, was this lady named Lydia, who was from Asia. Won't he do it? Now, her name is believed not to be Jewish, but rather Phoenician. Scholars have different theories about the descent of the Phoenician people. Some people believe that they were black. Some think they were Spanish or even Lebanese. But for the most part, they all agree that they were dark-complected people. And then she was also from Thyatira in Asia. That means she probably even looked like me, y'all. So she was over 4,000 miles away from home. It's believed that she was residing in Philippi, away from her place of origin for business reasons. The Bible says she was a seller of purple, meaning she was a purple dye distributor. That was her occupation. That was her career. That was her profession. Amen. Thyatira was well known for its association of dyers. The water there was unique, and it was a universal fact that that was the only place that could produce that particular purple dye. I think we can deduce that she was a wealthy woman, as the color purple was rare. It was rare because it was difficult to obtain, therefore difficult to produce. Only the wealthy could afford material that had been dyed that purple hue. So the laws of supply and demand would then dictate that a ream of material dyed with this unique color would have had a very high price point. Amen? That's evidence of her wealth. There's also a debate about whether or not Lydia was a born Jew or a Gentile who practiced Judaism, or what is known as a proselyte, amen? Although, at least to me, it really would be impressive to believe that she was first a pagan who converted to Judaism, who then converted to Christianity, because that would mean that she was truly somebody seeking the truth of God. In any case, as we revisit this prayer meeting, we can now see that she is indeed a busy woman. She's over 4,000 miles away from her hometown and another town to distribute her wares. You would think she would be too busy to pray. Just think about the schedule she must have had. I mean, today we all seem to be very, very busy people. Amen, somebody. One of the things Sister Virginia talked about our radio ministry. We do meet face-to-face, but the attendance is low. So in addition to that, I text out the link to the Bible study to the ones that can't come. Because we seem to be a very busy people. Amen? We seem busier than any other time. But the irony to me is we have more time-saving conveniences than ever existed. I mean, we complain about the long lines at the airport when we travel. But Lydia wasn't on no plane to come across those 4,000 miles. She couldn't call or fax or email her suppliers. Today we often complain about long working days within that 10-hour window, maybe from 9 to 5 more or less. But back then, people often worked from sun up to sundown, amen? And when she worked overtime, when she worked through the dinner time, there was no drive-through for a quick meal, no microwave, amen? Jimmy John's wasn't delivering nothing to her door freaking fast or any other kind of way, amen? So she was busy. But everything had to be done the long way around. Amen? But Lydia decided, Lydia determined that she would at least be at that prayer meeting. And I think Lydia knew what a lot of people today seem to forget. She determined that in order for her to stay on top of her schedule, in order for her to meet the needs of her family, in order for her to successfully compete with the other Philippian purple dye distributors, and that in addition to her knowledge of the industry, she knew she needed some praise. She knew she needed some favor. She had to put in some God time. Now, she was a religious woman. She was a woman devoted to God. And I want to make sure we all understand that there is a distinction here. She was a religious woman, a woman devoted to God. A growing problem in our current society today is that people believe that the two are mutually exclusive. That you can, in fact, be devoted to God but not necessarily be religious. I don't go to church, but I'm very spiritual. I don't agree with organized religion, but I believe in God or higher power. Now, I just downloaded this app about a month ago. This Bible app in my Bible. The one I usually carry, my Slimline, I've had it for a couple of years, but I'm quite sure, somebody told me, I believe there has not yet been a second edition produced. I don't believe there's an amended version of God's word, amen. And it is in this same book of Acts, hallelujah, where we discover how the Christian church began. We can see in this book of Acts people being actively saved. On the day of Pentecost, the Bible says 3,000 souls were saved after hearing Peter's witness. And my Bible version uses the word added. That 3,000 souls were added. These folk didn't get saved and returned to business as usual. The Bible says in Acts chapter 2, verse 42, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, in the breaking of bread and in prayer. You see, religion is the physical response to a genuine come to Jesus spiritual encounter. You instinctively want to be with other people who have shared that. You see, there's no football, basketball, or baseball game, no rock, rap, or jazz concert, amen, or any other event where people normally gather that can hold a candle to what happens when the saints of God get together. Now, she was the one woman at that prayer meeting who responded to the preached word. The Bible doesn't say what Paul said to the woman on the banks of the river that day. And if you're somebody whose life was changed by the Lord's saving grace, then you know it really wasn't about the words he used, but about the power of that word. The Bible gives us evidence of that power because verse 14 contains these words. The Lord opened her heart to heed, to pay attention, to notice, to regard the things spoken by Paul. How many of you know not everybody has an open spiritual ear? Verse 15 reveals her heart's response. It says, and when she and her household were baptized, it says, and her household. You know, there used to be a time when people went to church as a family, amen. Mama, daddy, the kids. Today it seems that often mama just wakes up on Sunday morning, gets dressed quietly, leaves out of the house and gets into her car and heads out for for worship. But now while she's in church, praising and praying, preaching and teaching, hooping and hollering, shouting and sharing the fellowship of the saints, Junior and Janice are still back home in the bed. I don't mean to make nobody mad. Now, later on this same mission journey, a jail guard asked Paul and Silas, what must I do to be saved? And they responded by saying, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you will be saved, you and your household. Well, they were not saying here that his family would automatically be saved. No. See, there's a level of expectation that newly saved persons will become a witness to their household. If you have ever had a genuine Jesus moment, you know that you simply cannot keep that. So now I believe that Lydia and anybody else who comes into the faith not only becomes a new believer, but they also become a new witness. You see, I believe that if Lydia existed in our time, I believe she would determine that because she had been changed, that since her spiritual eyes were now open, that it was her responsibility to ensure that things got changed at home. I believe she would have gone home and got Janice and Junior up out of that bed. I believe that she would say to them something like, go on all the lazy days and Sunday mornings when you get to sleep around and lounge around my house all day. I can imagine the modern day leader saying to her household, come this Sunday morning, if you stay out still planning on living here, how about getting up and going to church? In a time such as we currently live, black on black crime, blue on black and brown abuse of power, ISIS scares number 45, a high divorce rate, a low marriage rate, and as a nation, as a culture, we become content, y'all, with the promotion of the formerly deviant identity of a mistress to becoming the socially acceptable position of side chick. Sexual experimentation is now socially acceptable. Driving up to Publix in your Mercedes Benz and whipping out your EBT card to pay for your food has become acceptable. Your sexual organs is no longer the determining factor of what your gender will be.
Backwards, just backwards. Amen. Lord have mercy.
And we wonder why the churches today are becoming more and more empty. Where are the witnesses? In the midst of all the political fallout, all the moral decline, all the senseless murders of young black and brown men, all the pitfalls of our economy, people are running further and further into the world instead of running into the arms of the church. And so my question is, why don't more people know that the doors of the church are still open? Where are the witnesses? As God's people, we have an obligation to put effort into our witness, amen. Look at what we allowed our society to become. You know, I can just imagine Jesus, Mary, and Joseph standing on the edge of heaven, y'all, looking down at us in heavenly protest, holding up their signs that read #spiritual lives matter. Where are the getting back to, I get a little carried away, y'all. Getting back to Pastor Lydia. After her conversion, the Bible says she begged to Paul, if you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come to my house and stay. I do remember when you first got saved. Oh, I was a certified nut, amen. I was trying to save everybody. It took forever to get anywhere, because if you were pulled over, I was pulling over. I calmed down some, amen. Kids tired of me embarrassing them, amen, somebody. All I know, though, is sometime between the time that her household was baptized and the time that the preachers were released from jail and went to stay at her house, Lydia started a church, y'all. So we're both founders. And we know this because in verse 40 it says, so they went out of the prison and entered the house of Lydia. And when they had seen the brethren, they encouraged them and departed. There's a passage of scripture written by Paul in the book of Romans that my Bible entitles, Behave Like a Christian. And it can be found in the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 9, beginning there anyway. And it says, let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love. In honor, giving preference to one another. Not lagging in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing steadfastly in prayer, distributing to the needs of the saints, given to hospitality. I like to think that when he penned those words, he was remembering his time share with Lydia. She did not lag in her diligence. She went right to work for the Lord. Amen. Beginning with her own family. And sometimes you just have to fill in the missing stuff. Amen. And I can just imagine her doing just what I did, doing some street ministry. Man, she was just excited. Hallelujah. And she started going on Google and looking up pulpit furniture. She wanted to start her church. Amen. She had to call the people about the sound system. She was not lagging in her diligence. She was fervent in spirit. She converted to Christianity because she fell in love with the Lord. Hard. Now, I like to say, we often vilify the Pharisees and the Old Testament people that were on the other side of the cross, especially, amen. But what they did and the way they did was the way they knew how to love God, amen. We can't be on this side of the cross, looking down at nobody. And so that should give you some example of how big a deal it was for this lady to convert that fast. She was willing to let go centuries of customs, centuries of practice, because her heart was opened. And she served the Lord. When the preachers got out of jail, they saw the brethren. That means she recruited some folk. Amen. She got out of the four walls. She ministered to some folk. She told somebody about the goodness and greatness of the Lord. And so their response is evidenced by their desire to gather together. She was a businesswoman, a family woman, and a preacher. But I believe above all that, she was a woman with a powerful witness. When was the last time that you told somebody about the goodness and greatness of God who didn't already know it? In the midst of a broken, dying, dark, and sinful world, Jesus says we are all supposed to be like Lydia. We're all meant to be the light of the world. Where are the witnesses? I like to use this two-part question to demonstrate the importance of our witness, and I'm going to sit down. Amen. Question 1. On the day that you were saved, the day that you confessed that Jesus was your Lord and Savior, the day that you believe that God raised him from the dead, on that day, why is it that the Lord God Almighty didn't take you at that precise moment? Why did he take your saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled soul right on into heaven at that minute? That's right. Question 2. What is the one thing that you can do for God on earth that you cannot do in heaven? You can shout in heaven. You can praise in heaven. You can sing in heaven. I believe you can pray in heaven. Amen. But what would be very redundant to do in heaven is your witness. Can't no lost people up there. I believe that for the most part, we become isolated or self-segregated in our Christianity. We're slipping into a mindset of exclusivity. Amen. I believe we are loving the Lord now. Don't get me wrong. Don't nobody get mad. I believe we're praising the Lord. I believe we're eager to learn more and more about the Lord, but we are doing it from inside of a bubble. I don't mean to imply that we are actively keeping people out, but rather that we're no longer actively seeking to bring folk in. Where are the witnesses? Listen, saints, God would have me to tell you that although we should certainly all know that the enemy's MO is to steal, kill, and to destroy. The enemy's motive is not often truly understood. It is not the enemy's goal to kill you so that you don't go to heaven. If you died in Christ, you're going to heaven anyway, amen? If you die out of Christ, you already belong to him. No. The enemy's goal, his mission, is to steal, kill, and to destroy your witness. His motive is to steal, kill, and to destroy your witness. He don't want this Christian thing to spread.
That's right.
He doesn't want you impacting the kingdom of God. He wants to destroy your witness. That's it. That's all. The enemy didn't make you sick. The enemy didn't make you broke. If you're struggling with a hard time, then ask yourself, where is my witness? And if your schedule permits you, I'm going to shut it down. I ain't going to, amen. He wants to stop spreading the gospel because he wants to destroy your witness. When we distribute food from the food bank, do we offer anybody any spiritual food? Where are the witnesses? When we seek to cover the naked, are we also seeking to cover them in the blood? Where are the witnesses? In other words, in these times of political unrest, while we organize our protests, while we seek to ease the burden of the hardest hit by this economy, while we're striving as a society and as a church to meet the legal, physical, and social needs of this world, let us not forget that we are first and foremost to be the light of this world, that we're supposed to be the salt of this earth,